go ahead and get started just so I'm not taking too much of your time tonight. I've got a little slideshow presentation I want to share and then just go over some stats and trends from this year and then going into next year, kind of what we can expect and what we can do to help service our clients a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I like to just go over our December events. I honestly don't think that we even have anything left for this year. I will remind everyone watching right now, or if you watch this later, our Zach Taylor offices are going to be closed on Christmas Eve and then on Christmas Day as well. Closing a little early, noon Central Time on Tuesday, December 31st. And then that's for New Year's Eve, and then closed on Wednesday for New Year's Day. I've said this like for several weeks now, but just reiterating, this is for our employees of Zach Taylor, so the people that work at like the our corporate office in Murfreesboro. Me, I'm a broker. I'm an independent contractor, which means I don't have like specific office hours or anything like that. So if you need me Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, whatever, if you have an emergency come up, I just want you to know you're welcome to reach out to me. I'm not hoping to get like 100 calls on Christmas, but if there's something going on, you don't have to mess up a contract just because it's Christmas Eve. Pretty much all of our events have happened for the month of December. Yeah, this is our last event. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what's coming for real estate next year. Essentially, what I've done is taken some data from buyers and sellers, like the trends and what's going on this year. And then we're going to talk about what we can do to implement good strategies for 2025 and make it our best year ever. Shepherd's Foster Closet, they are still taking donations. And if you want to click on this Amazon registry, then you're able to donate. I actually went ahead today and emailed Mackenzie and got some items ordered. So I'm hoping to give back a little this Christmas. And also a reminder, Dot Loop and Compliance, we do have trainings that are recorded. And if you have some free time over the holidays where you're maybe not working as much, or I don't know, just have some downtime, it is great and it will benefit you greatly to go in and just kind of get yourself familiarized with Dot Loop, our trainings, and just good contract information as well. And remember to follow us on social media if you haven't already. Hope everybody is doing well this evening. I am gonna present my screen here. There we go. So tonight we are going to talk about by the way, this is our last training of 2024. So we're going to talk about what is coming for real estate agents in 2025. And we're going to talk about this because we're going to take some data from 2024 and hopefully implement that for next year. We're going to go over what happened in 2024. Where do we get this data and what I'm talking about tonight and what does it actually mean? We're going to go over some buyer preferences from the data that we've taken, seller preferences, and then some of my key takeaways from these surveys and things that this data that we've gathered. So 2024, we were still coming out of the new normal of COVID. There were definitely lower interest rates during COVID, and in 2020 to like 2023 or so, we were coming out of that multiple offer situation on just about every house. People really started during COVID implementing internet searching into their home search, and it's just a historically crazy time for real estate in general, buyer or seller. It was just a very interesting and non-normal normal time. So 2024 was the year that mortgage rates fluctuated, home prices, they neared all-time highs historically, And then our industry policies were rewritten. We know in August we had a lot of changes in our real estate contracts and the way that we have commission and compensation. 33% of agents didn't close a single transaction in 2024. 33%. So if you closed a transaction, or like Brittany, you're going to close a transaction this year, then you're doing better than a lot of real estate agents in the state of Georgia and throughout the entire United States. So pat yourself on the back, say you had a good year, and again, we're going to make 2025 an even better year in real estate. So, where's this data from, and why should we trust this data that I'm going over tonight? So, this data was taken by the Zillow Group Population Science Team, which is a crazy term for a team, but they have a population science team. So it was taken nationally from buyers and sellers. They surveyed 2,200 successful buyers, so people that actually closed on a property, 2,800 prospective buyers. These may be people that were, still looking for a house but didn't quite get closed, 6,200 sellers. And then this data was taken between March and July of 2024, so this year. So it's new data. And as we know, Zillow, either million or billion, probably billion dollar company, and what they have done with home searches and the way they've approached like a customer service based home search, and AI and integrating AI and integrating algorithms and things like that, like almost like a social media for real estate and house searching. How they've done that has just been unreal. I know, a lot of people hate them. I've had my days where I definitely dislike Zillow, but like it or not, they're very good at what they do and are very successful. So this data, again, probably tons and tons of dollars have been spent to collect this data between March and July 2024. And they put this into a pamphlet, 2024 Consumer Housing Trends, and this is presented for real estate agents. And if you take a picture of this QR code, it'll take you to the complete pamphlet or booklet, and this has all the information plus more of what we're going to talk about tonight. And again, very trustworthy stuff. If you're a real estate agent, I think it'll be great information for you to know. They did want us to know quality control measures were taken as to not skew the results or data. So if there was like a computer or something like that taking these surveys, they like found a way to, pull that data out and really just go to buyers and sellers or prospective buyers and figure out what they want. So they asked questions like, how do you find your real estate agent? What services do you value most from your real estate agent? How do you prefer to communicate with your agent? What do you think about commissions? Do you think they're fair? And tonight we're going to go over all of the answers to these questions, plus a lot more. So again, I do think this is great information for us to go over. And again, I think we're going to be able to implement some things for next year also. So, hey, let me see if I can, okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to first talk about buyer preferences, okay? So they first started out asking buyers, how many agents did you interview whenever you chose your real estate agent? And 71% only approached one or two agents before deciding who to work with. And 47% hired the first agent that they contacted. So this should tell us, based on this data, this should tell us that your first impression matters when you're talking to buyers and we're talking to prospective clients in general. So, this data will tell us, the majority of people, one agent was contacted as a first-time home buyer, majority at 40%, they contacted one agent. But then if you get over to your repeat buyers, like your people that have, purchased a house in the past, they're up to 52% on their agents. So they find the people they like and then they just kind of stick with them, which again is I think it's a great thing. But again, it lets us know that our first impressions definitely are important when talking to prospective clients. How do buyers find their agents? They ask them, how do you find your agent? And 23% found their agent through a website or an app. And this is just mind blowing. More buyers found their agents through an app or website versus getting like a referral from a friend or family member. And so this is amazing data. And this tells me that we need to have our online presence uh, nailed down to a T. We need to put our best foot and best face forward when we are promoting our business and promoting ourselves as real estate agents online, because more people are going to use us by finding us online or through an app versus just through a referral even, which is just crazy to me. Then, of course, 5% were, referred by another agent, 4% referred by a home builder, and 7% by a search engine. And there were a couple other things that aren't pictured here. I'm going to call these honorable mentions for ways that buyers found their real estate agents. First of all, they just know their agent from the community. So maybe the agent did like community events or they go to church together, work together, whatever it may be. Two, past experience with an agent or that agent's brokerage. So believe it or not, there are times that people just pick up the phone and say, oh, I've had a good experience with a Zach Taylor real estate agent, or I see a Zach Taylor real estate sign somewhere. I'm going to pick up the phone, call the brokerage, and see who they can best connect me with. So it does happen. I promise y'all, it does happen. So just keep that in mind. There are other ways that buyers are going to find their agents as well. And if you do get a call like that from Zach, like, hey, we have a, buyer looking in your area, say yes. You definitely want to, if you have time, of course, you definitely want to take every lead, especially a, free lead like that you can get. Third thing, they saw a for sale sign, and I've said this many, many times, but as an agent, when you get your first listing, you should make that listing turn into two or three more listings by promoting yourself, through your for sale sign, talking to neighbors, talking to people that, maybe are interested in the house or other agents. Like you can take that one listing and just snowball that and really grow your business and thrive. Just going back to one listing. Other people attended an open house and they found their buyer's agent that way. And we've done trainings on this, but y'all know I'm a fan of open houses. I think this is a win-win for everyone. Then the other buyers got a direct mail piece or a newsletter from their agent, and that's how they connected with them and used them. So these things do work. I know there's tons of promotional, videos and different things for real estate agents, advertising this, advertising that, lead gen and all this stuff. But let's go to the data and see what actually works. And to me, your online presence is huge. Referrals are huge. So you really need to, first of all, be putting yourself, your best foot forward online, and then asking for referrals from friends, families, people you know. All right, so buyers' preferences continued. We're talking about social media on this one, and Zillow's little cute way of saying this was to TikTok or not to TikTok. By the way, I don't have TikTok, so y'all should all get TikTok and like blow up on TikTok, and that would make me so happy. So I love what it says towards the bottom here. Agents don't have to be viral sensations to benefit from social media, given that almost half of buyers said it had no impact on who they would hire for most generations. It seems that, I'm sorry, who they would hire, period. For most generations, it seems that social networks give agents a chance to show off their personality. And I love this, and I've said this 100 times, probably more, that social media is great for real estate agents. It's a great way to put your face out there, put your thoughts, your beliefs, and a little bit of your personality along with your business for the general public to be able to see, or maybe even friends, family to be able to see you as a professional or as a real estate agent. But again, it needs to be you. It doesn't need to be this stiff, um, cold real estate agent. You need to have a little personality because, you need to be who you portray yourself as online. And it does say that 46% of home buyers said that this does not have an impact whether they hire a real estate agent, but 44% made the buyer more likely to hire their real estate agent whenever they saw that they were active on social media and portrayed themselves as a real estate agent online. 10% did say it made the buyer less likely to hire. I have a feeling this is going to be more of an older generation that maybe just doesn't trust social media as much as maybe some, younger people that don't take it as seriously as young people do. But like it or not, it is the future, and we're living in this day and age. So this data is up, giving it to y'all, and then it's up to you to do what you want with it. You can be in that 10% if you want, but I would say promote yourself online. Okay, continuing into buyer preferences, they asked what services do buyers want from their agents? And 58% said they wanted value helping with offer details. So essentially, like, helping them with um, the details and essentially being the expert of like the offer and the offer process and that kind of thing. 56% said they wanted value help organizing and submitting the paperwork. So this is huge. We need to be able to know what we're talking about, offer help with making an offer on a house, and then help organizing and submitting paperwork. I love that they said organizing and submitting paperwork. Organizing. You need to be organized as a real estate agent. You don't need to be scattered. And that's what buyers are expecting when it comes to their agents. So sorry, I was going to see ourselves. Okay, good. Couple honorable mentions for what buyers wanted from their real estate agent. They really want real estate agents that are going to help them identify homes to consider. I know this is basic, y'all, but we want to do what we want to portray ourselves the way our clients want us, and we want to do the things that they want us what they expect from us. So I just want to, I know this sounds basic tonight, but it's so good. So again, they want to help us. They want us to help identify homes that they need to consider. They want us to help with negotiations. They want us to help with private home tours. And then they also, as kind of a caveat to this, they want to be referred to people from our database. So they need referrals for lenders, they need referrals for home inspectors, and then, there's multiple other things, handyman, painters, etc., plumbers, electricians, whatever. But we need to be, again, the experts in our field and ready and have a list of referrals ready, because I mean, this is just as important to some buyers as giving them a private home tour. All right, continuing with I'm going to minimize this again. Sorry, I want y'all to be able to see everything. Not minimize. Continuing on the buyer preferences, how do buyers prefer to communicate? So I like how it says here, however, agent responsiveness still matters to many buyers. 44% said they were in contact with their agent daily, while 47% communicated weekly. So just keep that in mind. If you're going 2 and 3 weeks without talking to your buyer clients while they're in the process of searching for a house, they may be talking to other people because they are expecting, daily, if not daily, then every other day or weekly conversations with their agent. If, you know, just putting that out there, buyers are expecting us to communicate with them, and we don't have to, be shy and wait for them to call us. This is not hard to get. We're not playing hard to get with our buyers. We are putting ourselves out there and we're saying, look, like, is this a house you want to see? What do you think about this area? Should I, change your email drip? The houses that are coming on your email drip in this way, or, does this budget still work for you? You need to, again, be the expert and kind of get the ball rolling, even if they're kind of dragging their feet on things. To an extent, of course, you don't want to waste your time with somebody that's not ready to actually purchase, but um, you definitely do want to be in communication with them. So a lot of ways that buyers wanted to communicate was through text messaging, phone calls, email, and then also written communication. And you'll see kind of as the ages go up a little, the text messaging kind of goes, fluctuates. Phone calls definitely go up the older people get, just because they're used to that. And then it looks like emails kind of who prefer emails are the millennials, 30 to 44. So you are welcome to reference this. And you know, if you're working with a Gen Z buyer, then you may want to just assume that they like to text. But you also can just ask them right off the bat, like, hey, what do you prefer? I want to do what works best for you. And that way it's a, smooth transition. Okay, so buyer preferences continued. Do buyers find agent commissions fair? So, first of all, I just want to put this out there just in case you haven't heard. We are now calling buyers agent commission compensation because we are not trying to present to our buyers that this is just a commission on top of our normal paycheck. No, this is our paycheck. So this is our compensation, not commission. But 70% of buyers, when asked and when surveyed, said that they found buyer's agent commissions fair. So pat yourself on the back, keep that, in your back pocket, that most buyers are going to be okay with you making the money that you are. 21%, of course, said it's too high, and 9% actually said it was too low. Probably they see those buyer's agent run into 50 houses, unlocking doors, fighting with those super boxes, pulling the blinds up, shutting the water off, doing whatever it takes, letting the cat out or in or whatever. They see what it takes, and they're even saying, look, y'all don't make enough money for all you have to go through. So just keep in mind, most buyers are thinking that you're paid a fair price for what you are doing. And I think this is great for us as real estate agents because we can keep on justifying, what we make in this business. All right, moving on to seller preferences. So they ask, why do sellers list their homes? Top answers going to be 51%. 51% of sellers said they changed in household or family size. And I like this the other day. Sarah Perez made a post. I said the other day, it was probably like 2 months at this point. But she said that people change houses for the 3Ds: diamonds, diapers, and divorce. And it's so true. 51% are going to change because they're having a baby, they're getting married, or maybe, separating. I don't like to work with divorces. Just makes it really, really stressful. But I have done it. And make a listing off of it. But major life events are what are gonna impact a seller to list their home. And really, when you're presenting yourself on social media and when you're talking to people, keep in mind changes in household or family sizes, people that are getting engaged, people that are getting divorced, or people that are having kids and kind of moving up, having two, three, four kids, they probably are going to move out of that starter home into a larger family home, or maybe to a, into a home with better schools or whatever it may be. So just keep that in mind. You want to appeal to those type people, and again, remind those people that you do what you do and you can help them move up or move down or whatever they need. But 51% was a change in household or family size. Preferences continued on this. How do sellers find their real estate agent? So 36% online. This is even more than the buyers, and then 28% were referrals. So that's our two major components. And the way that you want to present yourself as a real estate agent is you want to be showing up online, and then you want to make sure that your sellers, and then agents or whoever else knows that you are available for a referral. Some honorable mentions of other ways that sellers found their real estate agent is they knew them from the community. Again, they did community events, went to church, worked with them, saw them around, whatever it may be. They had a past experience with a specific broker or brokerage or specific agent. Open houses, great place to find sellers as well. Newspaper ads or direct mail. And this was, again, an honorable mention of majority of ways that sellers find their agents. And then last one was that people found their phone number on a for sale sign. And I know I said this just a couple minutes ago, but again, that first listing that you have should snowball into multiple listings if you work it the right way, to where people are seeing your number, they're seeing your face, they're building recognition, they're, maybe giving you a follow on social media or whatever it may be. And you want to present yourself great online. And then, of course, always be open for great quality referrals if you're serious in this business. I'll minimize this. Sellers' preferences continued yet again. They asked what qualities do sellers value most in their agent? And 80%, it was tied, 80% of sellers wanted their broker or their agent to be responsive and then also trustworthy. And there's other great statistics here of good things that they value in their agent. I just want to reiterate, local market knowledge is crucial. Strong sales history is key, and a positive reputation in the community helps a lot also. But number one, they want somebody that is responsive. They want somebody that is trustworthy. And if I could tell all of our agents to have two goals for 2025 and how you're going to treat your clients and portray yourself as a real estate agent in 2025, those two words would be responsive and trustworthy. And you can't help but make it in this career if you're responsive and you're trustworthy. So just write that down, put it on your mirror, do whatever you have to do. That's what you need to set yourself up as a real estate agent in 2025. I know it's going to be my goal. How many offers does the typical seller get? And again, this data was taken March to July of this year. So it's a little different than what we were looking at in like 2022, 2023. We were looking at a bunch of offers. Now the median offer for a house is two offers. So you're not really dealing with, a lot of waiving appraisals, waiving inspections, escalation clauses. We're not seeing all that as much as we were a couple years ago. But just you need to set up expectations when you're talking to sellers and make sure that you're aware of what's going on in the local market. This says the data highlights the importance of coaching sellers throughout the process. So this is going to set you up for success with your sellers and what they expect. Agents seem to be making strong first impressions, but there's also a clear need to protect the seller's schedule and help them manage stress before the sale is complete. And what this means is there's going to be different levels or different trials, if I could say it that way, throughout a transaction. As we know, first weekend on the market is crazy. We've got buyers coming in and out. We've got the house that needs to be cleaned 80,000 times. Sellers' emotions are all over the place. Then you've got the inspection that comes in. Again, the house is being ripped apart, and there's an inspector there saying you've got mouse poop in your attic, and your pipes are messed up, and they want the septic tank pumped, and there's dirt everywhere, and it's just crazy. So we as agents just need to go ahead and set expectations correctly. We're not in 2020 anymore, or 2021 or 2022 with the 4+ offers. We have a median of 2 offers per house. And it looks like, 22% of houses actually only get 1 offer. So keep this in mind. You need to set expectations correctly with your sellers and for yourself. You don't want to drive yourself nuts and get burnout because you're expecting, 5 offers every time you list a house, because that's not where we're at, and probably not where we're going in 2025, unless, interest rates just go nuts and, go down to 2% again. Um, just a note, doesn't mean you're not a good agent if you're not getting multiple offers this year and next year, but you definitely should audit your listings to make sure you're giving your listing its best shot. The first 48 to 72 hours on the market are most crucial. And just a little tip or tidbit, I guess. We will have a training in January. I want to say it's the 22nd, something like that. And I'm going to teach y'all how to audit your listings. So to actually go through, make sure your listing is, looking at it from a buyer's perspective, making sure it's standing out, making sure it's, saying the right thing, portraying the right thing to try to create that multiple offer scenario. There are still some houses that do get 4+ offers. Even this year, it looks like 17% got more than 4 offers. So it does still happen from time to time. It depends on area, price, all those kind of things. But we do want to set ourselves up for the best shot of that as possible. All right. So here we are, some of the regional highlights and then my takeaways from this data, and what this all kind of means. First of all, Zillow, they did this survey nationwide. They did these surveys with buyers and sellers, but there were regions, the north, south, east, west, whatever. We're part of the South: Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Our agents are mainly in Georgia that are watching tonight, but just a couple highlights for Southern people, if you can say it that way. People in the South, those buyers are most likely to prefer having phone calls with their agents. And, I'd say depends on the age on this. Probably most buyers that are like 30 and up probably prefer having phone calls. Under 30 don't mind a text, but they also may want a phone call every now and then. So something for you to keep in mind. And then sellers are most likely to say a trustworthy first impression from their agent is highly important. So the last thing that you want to do is set yourself up as non-trustworthy when you're working with a seller, because you're probably not going to get the listing. Set yourself up as an expert. Don't be fumbling over your words and lying about things or making up things that they can fact check you on. That's just in the South. This data, if you look back, I had a QR code at the beginning of this training, but if you look back at the beginning of the training and go to that QR code and look at all of this data, you can see, the North, they think a little differently. The West, they think a little differently, but this is our Southern people that we're talking about. Here are my main takeaways from everything that I've talked about tonight. Number one, nearly all buyers and sellers work with agents. So that's good news for us. This is not going to change anytime soon, which is, again, great news. We can breathe a sigh of relief. Even if we are that 33%, in that 33% that haven't sold a house this year, doesn't mean that you have to give up your license. Buyers and sellers, robots are not going to take over anytime soon. So buyers and sellers are going to work with agents, and this is good. They're looking for someone who knows the local market, they respond quickly, and can get them into properties quickly. 93% of people use a real estate agent. So this is great. Breathe easy. Going into 2025, we're going to have jobs. Number two, many buyers and sellers hire the first agent that they contact, so first impressions matter. 47% of buyers and 59% of sellers hire the first agent that they contact. So they do matter. First impressions matter, whether in person or online. So again, be prepared when you're going in for that initial phone call or Zoom call or meeting with a potential buyer or seller, or if you're going to a listing appointment, be prepared. Do whatever you have to do. Lose sleep. I don't care what you have to do to be prepared for that listing appointment. Call me if you don't know what to say, don't know what to do. We can fake it till we make it, or we can do whatever we have to do to make you be prepared and have a great first impression, because that's a big deal if you're, especially if you're the first agent that they contact. Um, and oh, this also, I just want to say, follow up is so important when you're talking with people and when you're having listing appointments and things like that. If somebody comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, thinking about buying a house. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, great, let's talk." And then I don't follow up and I don't say anything and they don't know and then it's uncomfortable and I don't know. So get over yourself, get over that and do some follow up, because if you don't, then somebody else will, and they want to hire the first person they talk to. So give them the chance and just do follow up to help them any way that you can. Number three, digital tools benefit both agents and clients. And what I mean by this is professional photos, videos, 3D walkthroughs are still going to help sell homes in 2025. So we do want to be taking advantage of digital tools and even spending a little more money maybe than the cheap discounted commission agent, to make sure that our listings look the best at the best they can, and also help our buyers understand video walkthroughs and things like that. That way they can access Zillow and kind of do a walkthrough and not waste your time. If the layout doesn't work for them, they can know before it wastes anybody's time. So keep that in mind. Those are going to be still big in 2025. Number four, buyers want to text and call their agent. So be flexible with that. And what I say is ask up front what your buyer prefers. If they prefer a text, shoot, text them all day, every day if you have to. If they hate texting and they never respond to your text, but they always email back like immediately, then go out of your way, email them, voice texting, calling, whatever's best for them. I've got some clients that like to voice text me, and like it's so weird to me, but like whatever. I just do it anyway because it makes them happy and it makes them respond quicker. So do whatever you have to do to have a good impression and be flexible with that for your buyers. But again, if you ask up front, they probably will tell you their preference and what'll work for them. Number five, listing agents have an opportunity to set expectations with sellers. So with compensation and the local market, uh, you need to go ahead and set an expectation with your seller. Talk about compensation right off the bat. Don't let it be like you've done prep the listing, you've done the photos, you've done all this work, and then y'all have the conversation about compensation. Like, go ahead, starting this year, go ahead and start talking about compensation right off the bat when you go to the listing appointment or when you're talking to somebody about selling their house. And then also set their expectations up correctly with the local market. Don't tell them you're going to get them 10, 12 offers on their house if you can see in the comps that it takes every house in the neighborhood 90 days plus to sell. And then even then, it's one offer, maybe two. So you want to go ahead and reduce their stress right off the bat. It also is going to reduce bad feelings that could happen later on if you just get things like that out in the open early. And then I would also say be ready as a listing agent to host 1 to 2 open houses And then also be ready to host private showings if needed. We're no longer in the day and age of slapping a couple pictures up on a listing, setting whatever price you want, and then you get 50 offers. You never have to leave your couch. Go ahead and be ready. You may have to host open houses. That's okay. This is the normal for 2024 going into 2025. And you may get some phone calls from people that are nervous with the compensation structure and with the lawsuit, and they may call you directly as the listing agent. Take advantage of that. Go ahead and show them the house. Do whatever you have to do. Don't be lazy. Just do whatever you have to do to get the house sold. Number 6, this is my last thing. Most clients find commissions and compensations fair. So 73% of sellers and 70% of buyers found our pay fair. So take a breather. It's okay. We're not like the highest paid profession, and everybody's not out to get us and let us work for free and all these things. Earn your money. Work hard, do what you're supposed to do, but know your worth. Don't be taking a $500 commission on something that that you've worked your tail off on. Know your worth and speak up for yourself, especially as you get more experience as a real estate agent. You should be able to know that most buyers and sellers are going to be okay with you getting a 2.5, 3, 4, whatever percent commission. So just a question to everyone. What are you going to implement in 2025 based off of some of these things that buyers and sellers have said? Here's a couple things that I want to implement myself. Number 1, responsiveness and trustworthiness. These words were said over and over again from buyers and sellers. They wanted their agent responsive, and they wanted somebody that was trustworthy. So we need to make sure that we are responsive and trustworthy when dealing with our clients or when dealing with potential clients. Number 2, I want to see our agents and I want to see myself being proactive in trainings. Y'all are here tonight, so I'm so proud of y'all. But in 2025, we want to be proactive in our trainings and furthering yourself as a real estate agent, because this is going to set you up as somebody that can't help but be successful. 2024, I couldn't find quite the number of agents that left because everything's skewed and maybe they just haven't like taken the data yet, but tons of agents left this business this year. So there's so much opportunity for the people that are serious about this and that are willing to work and further themselves to do so much more business in the future. Number 3, and this is my last thing, we got to get in front of potential clients. I'm speaking to myself, are things that I'm going to implement from this data, but y'all as well. We got to get in front of potential clients as a realtor, but also as yourself. So don't put on a front. Don't fake it. We gotta be ourselves, and we have to be a real estate agent, and it's just got to be cohesive, and it's got to be okay to be yourself as a real estate agent. I've said this in the past. I'm a mom. There's been times where I'm taking my kids to showings with me. There's been times my kids have went to closings with me. The clients that I work with don't mind because they know what they're getting, first of all, for my social media and that kind of thing. But when they talk to me in person, I'm talking about my kids. I'm talking about my family life. There's we've got to be ourselves, and our clients have to know what they're getting themselves into, and they can't help but love us because we love what we do. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And who liked this information this evening? Or anybody have anything to add tonight? Wow, overwhelming response. Thank y'all so much. I'm just kidding. Seriously though, thank y'all who are here tonight. You're welcome, Brittany. Thank y'all who are here. Sarah said good info. Thank you, Sarah. Thank y'all who are here, and I am so excited for next year. I really think it's going to be a great year in real estate. Let's all send up some prayers that interest rates come down a little and we can sell a lot of houses next year. I'm excited for it. Excited for the future of our brokerage too. Every time I look, we're getting new agents, so it's going to be awesome. Bigger and better things to come. I hope all y'all have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will be back with trainings. We're not going to do trainings the next 2 weeks, but we'll be back with trainings on January the 8th. We're going to talk about the contract and GAR form changes going into 2025. So I've got a lot of studying to do before I teach that class on that. So keep that in mind. Mark it on your calendar, January the 8th. We're going to do a training that evening, 5:30, like always. Hope y'all have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see y'all soon. Bye bye.